Hello everyone, a warm welcome here on the SEG eRacing cycling channel. We've got a very special stream coming up for you today because this will be the very first ever under 23 road series, a virtual series here on the YouTube channel. I am Casper Polet, your commentator for today. I am normally making YouTube videos on my own channel, it's called Casper 2001. And now I am doing the commentary for today's live stream, and I'm not alone, I'm joined by U23.
Yes, hello folks, like Casper said, my name is U23. I'm a journalist at wielerflits.nl, maybe you know it, it's one of the biggest websites in cycling in the Benelux, especially the biggest platform of cycling in Belgium and the Netherlands. So maybe you have heard of us. We do a lot of U23 racing coverage. We try to go to races as much as possible, and also bringing all the news to the U23 scene and everyone who is interested in that. So I'm very excited about today, and I'm curious what the race will bring us.
Yeah, so I think most of the people that watches live streams about cycling on YouTube are used with the platform Zwift, but today we are using the platform RGT, and that's completely different to Zwift. There is of course a draft. I can see the questions in the comments as well. You can draft other cyclists, and it's actually way more realistic than Zwift. So for example, in turns, the avatar slows down. You can put out 300 watts. Well, you can put out 300 watts, but it's completely useless. You slow down automatically, and you need to accelerate back again after the turns, which makes RGT one of the most realistic cycling games in the world, I think. Also, power-ups are enabled. There are no power-ups in this game, which means that this is actually as realistic as it can get, Yuri.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, it is, and I'm very curious to see, because the virtual races did pop up out of the ground very quickly the last few weeks due to the corona crisis, of course. But with other platforms like, for example, Zwift or Be Cool or Ruvi, how do you pronounce it?
I'm not sure actually, but everyone will understand you.
Yeah, it's the platform where the virtual tour of Switzerland was ridden on the last week, and Rowan Dennis, of course, won. And the most platforms you see that the real powerhouses, the time trial specialists, perform really well. But I'm very curious to see if in this kind of racing with more a realistic gameplay, to say, that maybe like for today it's a criterium that the normally fast guys and sprinters do well in this kind of races, and I'm very curious to see if that's the same for now, just in on this platform.
Yeah, for me counts the same. We'll talk about the realism of the race once it started. I firstly want to quickly go to the route as well. It's the Borrego Springs Crit. It's 4 turns completely flat. So as you already said, the sprinters will have a big chance here. I think so. There might be a leading group, but it's actually really hard to get away here. We do 5 laps of 7.7 kilometers. It's a bit hard maybe to see the distance, but we will try to keep you posted about that distance. So 5 laps of 7.7 kilometers. We've got 38.7 kilometers of racing today. Over 140 participants, and I think, Yuri, it's the right time to go to the start list.
It's very nice to see that a lot of the U23 teams are competing in this race. Of course, SEG Racing Academy, or eRacing Academy, that I have to say from since the last weeks or so, is competing, the host of this event. But also teams like U23, the development team from Norway, the Great Britain Cycling Academy, Swiss Racing Academy, the Tyrol KTM team from Austria, the Jumbo-Visma development team is also here. Just like Hagens-Berman Action, the American squad of Axel Merckx, the son of the great Eddy Merckx. Everyone knows him, I guess, and if you don't know him as a cyclist, there's something wrong. Also, the Israel Cycling Academy is here, the development squad of the Israel Startup Nation team, the World Tour squad, and some other good and well-known under 23 teams are over here. So yeah, I'm really excited to see this guys racing each other, and yeah, very curious. Also, a couple of big names to start here. Think about Corbin Strong, who crowned himself world champion at the track in February. He's riding for SEG, of course, but also the Dutch national champion, as it is a King's Day in the Netherlands today. David Dekker is also here. He won a lot of races at the beginning of the 2020 season, but also other guys like Andreas Leknesund, for example, Julius Johansson, former world champion on the road as well. So yeah, really exciting to see all those big names taking the fighting gloves to compete to each other here.
Yeah, the starting list is absolutely amazing. I also want to say something about Tijmen Arendsman and Andreas Leknesund, the boys from SEG eRacing Academy and Unox Norwegian Development Team. They will both be trainees at Sunweb as of June. So yeah, it's absolutely amazing, the amount of participants, the quality of the participants. I think yeah, we can really be pleased with that. So 1.5 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen, and then we will start off. I want to say quickly that this is the first ever live stream on SEG. We're doing this for the first time this way, so there might be a lot that's going to be wrong, but we're just going to dive straight into it, and if you don't try, it will never work. As you can see, all the riders are wearing the exact same shirts. They are riding on the exact same bike. It's because RGT is a complete new platform and they didn't have the time to make all the jerseys. So it might be a bit hard to see all the riders, but luckily I have a co-commentator with me. So 4 eyes on the race today. And of course you in the comments as well, if you want to inform us, if you want to ask us any questions or something like that, you can always do that. Yeah, Yuri, are you excited as well?
Yeah, I'm also pretty excited to see what the start will be like, because in other platforms, like I think about the Swift race Alpecin Fenix organized on the same day as the Tour of Flanders. That was just a very quick start, and I'm very curious to see if that's the same on this platform, because it's more realistic, and maybe they will start slowly, but I think everybody is eager to race, so maybe they will also have a quick start.
Yeah, 12 seconds to go, and then we will know it in like an hour of time. This race will be over. The race is starting in 3, 2, 1. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. The first race on RGT has started here today. We have over 100 riders. It's absolutely crazy. Look at that. The top left of your screen, you can see the power output that the rider I am fan viewing is putting out. You can see the cadence. Normally there will be a heart rate monitor as well. Oh, I'm quickly going through the field. There are a lot of riders that are already being dropped, as you can see. As I said, it's really hard to manage myself here in the big bunch. So yeah, you will just try to make the best of it. But yeah, let's see if it's going to happen. We said it, it's one of the most realistic virtual series as well. One thing is that all the riders filmed themselves. Here you can see the turns, so they are now slowing down, and then they need to accelerate once again. So Yuri, I was talking about the realism. They needed to send a video of their weight as well, eh?
Yeah, they did, because you want to create a level playing field, of course, and there are some ways to cheat at this kind of platforms, because if you put in a lower or higher weight, you can push more watts or less watts. So it's you have to make it fair for everyone. So the organizers asked everybody to put in their weight, make a film of it, or a small video where they actually stood on when they were weighing themselves. So there isn't very much space to cheat here. So I'm very curious if that won't occur.
Yeah, you're saying it absolutely correct. They needed to send a picture as well. Only a few trainers were allowed to use. They needed to have a different power source as well. So every rider that is participating here also has his power meter connected. So yeah, it's like a really realistic race. As we see the bunch, there are still plenty of riders and no one really tries to attack. And that's because of the big amount of wattages that the riders are putting out. It's actually useless to attack at the moment.
Yeah, it is. Also, something nice to say is that, for example, in a corner, and I think there's coming one up now. It's useless to put in, for example, a ride with 100 kilometers per hour into a corner because it's not realistic. And you see, maybe in the left part of the screen and on the above side on the left, there is the power output, and you also see when a rider uses useless energy, then the line becomes red. There he could have took a little breathe, but that's how it works a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of guys in the comments are asking what this program is. This is RGT, a new program where drafting is, of course, one of the most important things. People are still asking if you can actually draft on this. Yes, of course, you can draft on this. And as we already told, taking the corners as well is really important to manage your wattages there, to put it down and to accelerate back again after the corner. I can see someone supporting Hidde van Veenendaal, someone supporting Harrison Wood. Keep them up. Maybe we will mention you in the stream. It's of course very nice. Let's see. Well, yeah. Still a peloton.
Yeah.
Nothing really happening at the moment. There's one rider who's trying to attack actually, yeah?
Yeah, we see one rider trying to make a small gap, but the other riders are trying to get him reel him back in. But it's quite funny to see as we're riding in a desert, and we already have some echelons, of course. But now, just joking, there is no wind over there, so that's not an effect here in the race. But it's funny to see that there's already a bunch, and some guys are coming back to the front at this moment.
Yeah, nothing really happening at the moment. It's really hard to get away, but we can look further back. Here we have another turn coming up. We can look a little further back maybe, because there are a lot of riders being dropped as well. The wattages are not really that high, but when you're not used to the platform or you're sleeping at the start of the race, here you go, they are being dropped. And chasing behind the peloton, we all know that this gap is the biggest gap in the universe. You will never be able to bridge back to the peloton. This is the most frustrating thing about cycling. I know it myself. Do you know it actually, Yuri? Do you cycle yourself, or?
Yes, I do, but it's I do it way not enough to do. I gave it a good name, as we say it in Dutch. I don't know the right English words at the moment, but I think I go out cycling for an average of once a week, I think. Sometimes 2, sometimes none, sometimes 3, but it's not. I don't have the time or give myself the time to go out cycling every week.
Ah, okay. But it's good that you're cycling, of course, eh?
Yeah,
doesn't have to be that often.
No, and we have to stay healthy, so it's a very nice sport to do. But if I don't watch all the data, what is provided by, for example, Pro Cycling Stats or First Cycling or all those database websites, if I'm not reading interviews, if I'm not doing interviews, and if I have got some spare time left, I will go and catch the bike. But like I said, it's not very often.
It's okay. It's nice. I've been a junior last year, and actually I'm not as good as the riders here, but I did the national championships and stuff like that as well. So.
What was your place over there, if I may ask?
76, so a little bit further back. I was just hanging at the back of the peloton all day. I crashed twice, so. Okay. Yeah. So as I told, the gap between the peloton and me, I really know that I'm being dropped a lot of times. So like this gap. It's really hard to bridge up. You see that this rider here is stopping as well, he's slowing down. He knows that it's all over, but we can see that a second group is being formed. That's of course nice. Everyone wants to finish the race, get those training kilometers in. So, yeah. Are we already in lap 2? Did you see that? Or?
No, I think we didn't didn't pass the finish yet,
Someone
but
managed it, but in the comments, but
it could be.
I don't know.
But no, but it's nice to say again that this is the first time, and there are still some some small things that have to be fixed. Like you already said, everyone is riding in black shirts because there uh, aren't team jerseys available yet. But there are also still a lot of other things that they are still improving. But we are trying to do our very best, and that's also the same thing for this stream, because we did wanted to provide and show you a lot of more things than we can right now.
Yeah, you're saying it perfectly, Yuri. So, I've been looking at the start list, and there are a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different nationalities. And one
Yep.
thing I was wondering, like the temperatures in the different countries. I've been riding Zwift myself at home, and when it's like a little warmer outside, it's really hard to ventilate yourself in a good way. Is that
Mm-hmm.
maybe something that could be a decider as well today?
Yeah, it could be, because every rider has his own, of course, as the quality of a rider has its own limitations, but it's not in every country. It's not even warm, but and the can't get a word right now, but it doesn't really matter. But the circumstances of everybody aren't the same. So yes, it could make a difference for today, but we have to see how this race develops.
Yeah, as we see, still a big bunch there with someone from New Zealand riding in first position. The first position has changed a lot, and here we go through the start-finishing place. So I think this is the first lap done, ladies and gentlemen. Still 4 laps to go, of course, in this race on the Borrego Springs Classics. As I already told at the beginning, it's a 30.7 kilometer race with 7.7 kilometers per lap. So you can calculate yourself how long we still have to go. People still ask a lot about the platform. It's RGT. We're really happy to say that RGT helped us by providing this great virtual e-series. And you can download it actually for free yourself now. During this COVID-19 period, you can make use of all the online premium content as well for free. So I think it's really nice. Yuri, is it something for you, RGT maybe, or do you stick outside at the moment?
No, I prefer to race outside, but for the winter months, it's definitely a platform which I want to buy to do some racing, because I have a lot of um, uh, time to go out mountain biking over here, because the nature where I live provides a lot of mountain bike routes, and also a lot of cyclocross routes if you prefer that. So that's what I normally do. But of course, uh, we say it in Dutch. I'm a good weather rider, because if it's
Ah,
sunny, I will go out. But if it's raining and it's hard wind, I prefer to stay inside. So maybe this is also a good platform for me to do something on that kind of days. And as most people know, in the Netherlands, the weather isn't that great always. So it really could be something for me in the future, of course. Yes.
yeah, for me as well. I think virtual e-series is really getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you really want to race in the best possible way, in the most realistic way, if you really want to prove yourself in the virtual e-series, I think RGT is even better than Zwift. And especially with the corner thing, of course, the drafting, and it needs a lot of improvement as well. But as we already told in the beginning, it's just up there. Like 2 weeks ago, we came up with the plan, and we are trying to work it out as fast as possible. There might be something wrong. Of course, everyone is wearing the same jersey. We try to fix that as soon as possible. But for now, I think it really, really looks cool. So
Yeah, it's a kind of I don't know if you know it, but maybe some watches do. It's a little bit like Pro Cycling Manager, but then you have to do it all by yourself instead of just using your mouth and your mouse, sorry, and your keyboard. So it's a little bit like doing a game. But of course, every rider who hears this at this moment will guess, well, shut the fuck up, Yuri. This is no game. This is hard work.
yeah, this is really, really, really hard. You constantly need to put that powers up. Of course, in the turn you can take a little break, but 4 turns in 8 kilometers is not a lot. So it's really hard. Let's see the comment section, I see that Will Jewett puts his money on Josh Price. Well, we will watch him for you, Will. Let's see some more spectators in the comment section. I saw that Siebe de Weert was also cheering on a few of his Belgian friends. So that's always good. Try to keep them coming. Here we have the second group. I'm trying to go a bit further to the peloton. So let's see where it is. There we go. Back at the peloton there with Connor. Connor being in the front all the time actually, with Matthijs de Leng there as well.
Yeah, it's just still a small bunch, but we constantly see the same riders at the front of the peloton. But I think we still have to wait if there will be any attacks in the coming upcoming laps, and then we'll possibly get a better list of riders who are actually in front, because these are way too many to give to you. So we'll have to see. But in fact, Connor is one of the guys who's been up there pretty much the whole race until now.
Conor McGoldrick is his name. It's an individual rider, so it is able to sign up as an individual cyclist. Of course, you have to ride at a good team. You have to be an under 23 rider. But Conor McGoldrick saw the advertisement on one of the SEG social channels, and he was like, oh well, let's sign up for it. And now he's riding in front of a stream that's been viewed by 500 people. So Conor McGoldrick has his promotion, and I think it's good for him. Let's see who that guy...
Yeah, sure.
So,
sorry, go on, Casper.
No, you can talk as well.
Yeah, it's very nice to see, because like we said, and like you said in the beginning of the stream, that this race is only limited for under 23 riders, which I think is very nice. Everybody in the cycling peloton is talking about the World Tour at the moment, about the Women's World Tour, but also the under 23s and the juniors also got their races cancelled due to the coronavirus. So it's a little bit of a problem also for those teams to show the sponsors, and I think this is a very nice way to express them. And hopefully this is the beginning of something really cool the coming weeks.
Yeah, because when you are a big team, for example a World Tour team, and you've got a lot of older guys in your team, you want some new riders in your team maybe, like this is actually the only race that you can watch and where you can say, this rider is good, let's sign him.
Yeah, for an example, maybe this RGT platform and also the other platforms like Swift or Be Cool or Ruvi could be a new scouting element for those World Tour teams for signing the bigger talent from the sport.
Yeah, it would be cool if you get a contract because of a virtual series race.
Yeah, of course, it would be very cool, but on the other side, it's still it's not, of course, a real race. So you can be very good on your own. You can put some strong watts, but if you don't know how to ride in a peloton, I still think it's very difficult to land a contract just by doing some virtual races. But maybe in the future, also World Tour teams and of course development teams will add a virtual racing team to their team. So maybe there is for that kind of runners that are doing special that are specialists in these kind of races, that they can join such a team. But that's something the future has to learn us.
Yeah, I'm getting the question, can I have a look at the start list? Well, of course you can. Here we go. A little look at the start list. Once again, just pause it if you want to have a closer look at it. We will go back soon to the race. Here we go. Back in the bunch there where Conor McGoldrick is still putting down the watts. Still a big bunch of people, but there are also a lot of riders that are being dropped. The pace is still quite high. So there's not like everyone in the peloton at the moment.
No, not at all. And like I mentioned at the start, you have seen a lot of these virtual races the last couple of weeks. And what I was surprised about, that normally when a race starts, it's like all cool in the center of a big city or a town, and they will pedal for a few kilometers, and then the Départ Real starts, and then they will start pushing the pedals really hard. But in these Swift races, there is no warm up at all, and it's just from the start. Just pushing your pedals, and if you're not in the first group after I think 2 or 3 minutes, it's really hard to bridge the gap again. And I was wondering if that was the same here, but indeed it is. So I'm really wondering how this will develop into the race if the group stays the same for a long time.
Yeah, so now we are seeing, I don't know what we're actually seeing. Someone tries to, there's a server connection lost, so I don't know. Oh, this is not going well.
What? A crash, a massive crash in the peloton.
No, they saved it. They saved it. Wow, that was a great way to save it. I don't know exactly what happened there, but we are still up, ladies and gentlemen. We are still watching the live stream. Let's see. There's someone who joined the special guest has joined the Discord server, but maybe he can put on some earphones so that we so that I don't hear myself and so that the viewers don't hear me twice in the stream. I think one time is already very bad.
We just crossed the line for the third lap, so 2 laps done already. 3 laps to go for the peloton in this moment.
Yeah, exactly. You're saying it correctly. So there was a little server problem there, but I think everyone is still in the peloton. No one really being disappointed by that. Let's see. Let's try to introduce our special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, this man has ridden for a lot of World Tour teams. He's a pro for so long. I was like 2 or something when he started. He is an under 23 national champion as well, and he's currently at the Israel Cycling Academy team, the Israel startup team. Ladies and gentlemen, Rory Sutherland is here.
Goedenavond. Rory. Goedenavond. Still didn't forgot to the Dutch language.
Come on, it's the most important language in the world, isn't it?
Zeker when there is koers, eh?
Yes, exactly.
So, Rory, thank you for being here at first. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. Well, I was actually wondering, how is the Corona time for you in Australia? Is it really bad? Like, do you have to stay at home all the time, or?
I'm in Spain.
Oh, you're in Spain at the moment, so you're actually in your home.
At the moment, I kind of wish I was in Australia, considering that they don't really have it.
Yeah.
But in Spain, it's probably as bad as Italy, as bad as France. So it kind of it's put a damper on some of the training we've been able to do. But you do what you can do, and you do the best you can with what you have.
Yeah, and I also understood that the rules for the lockdown are going to be a little bit better. You can train again in May, eh?
Allegedly, we'll say allegedly until we see it actually happen. Then I'll believe it all. But when you say you can train again, I've been training. We've all been training. We've done what are we at now? 6 weeks. This is the 7th week indoors for us. Mm-hmm. No training outside on the road. So for those that are in Belgium and Holland and Germany and other countries within Europe for sure, and in the UK. You guys have it quite lucky compared to us.
Yeah, I think so. But how do you stay in condition in this kind of circumstances? We see a lot of riders doing like these virtual races. What do you do at this moment, Rory?
Well, my situation's a little bit different than some of the other guys. In December I broke my leg. Mm-hmm. So I'm still actually on the way. Well, it's been a long road already, but I'm still on my way up. And so, in all honesty, this situation is probably one of the better situations for me for my immediate future of racing, because I can be on a trainer doing the training that I need to do every day to get better. I also have, from going from 0 or less than 0 from what I'm used to, I have the ability to build up every single day or every week and have like small goals and things like that to keep me motivated. Whereas most of the professional guys who had already started their season were coming into the better form for the classics, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know what you do in that situation when you're already at the form that you're in. My situation, like I said, is different. I am on my way up, and so this virus and this, I guess, pause of the season that we call it, probably the best thing that could happen with my injury.
And is that the same for other injured riders, or, for example, riders who come back and had a rough 2019 season? And as we see it in the Dutch perspective, of course, Tom Dumoulin had a really nasty 2019 season. Could this whole pause of the season could fancy those riders who are coming back from an injury or from a rough season last year?
For sure. I think the only complication we're going to have there is that it's going to be, if there is a season, which I believe there will be, that it's going to be a short one, and it's going to be a hard and a fast one, because everybody's ready to go and ready to race the whole time. It can definitely be a benefit. Myself, other guys who have been injured at the start of this year, I've got a lot of ex-teammates or friends within the peloton who, once I hear that they're injured, I can send them a WhatsApp, or I can see how they're doing. We've all talked about it, and in all honesty, we've kind of laughed about it as well, because we're like, wow, geez, we picked the best season to be injured. We're not missing anything at all.
No, and is it then maybe easier to come back, like you said, for now? Is it easier to come back when you're injured?
It is, because there's no time stress. So there's no date. For me specifically, from the injury that I had, is one that, it's probably, normally it's 6 to 8 months to 12 months till you get back to where you were before, if you can get back to that level. So it's one of the longer injuries that you can have, the longer recuperation to come back. And so for me, it's definitely, like I said, it's a benefit. It's a benefit to have this time. So you remove the stress of being like, I have to get back, I have to do this now, I have to do this now, because you're not missing anything. So what I have is, I have a time frame now of, okay, in 3 months from now, best case scenario, I can start racing. In 3 months from now, I'm fine. I'm already at 4.5 months since the injury. And by that time, I'm not, like I said before, I'm not missing anything at all. There is nothing happening. And in retrospect, I'm probably more motivated now, me personally, than I was before, because I've missed everything. And I can take those not easy, it's definitely not easy, but those slow steps and the recovering in the right way to get back to the level that I need to be at to be able to do my job.
Yeah. And is it then maybe, of course, when you get back from an injury, it's always more difficult, because other riders have an advantage because they have ridden more races, they have maybe a better condition. But how bad is this whole pause for condition of the fit riders who are maybe don't have that same advantage again when you start racing, of when everybody starts racing?
I think it's a really difficult thing to say that somebody has an advantage, someone doesn't. I've seen in the press that the French Federation saying, well, if our riders don't get out on the road in the next 2 weeks, then they can forget about the Tour de France. I've seen Tom Dumoulin, what I consider to be stupidly saying, if I can't go to altitude, how can I compete? You've already lost if you're starting to think that way. I'm coming back from an injury, but it's not like everybody's at 100% form the whole year. So if I'm at 90% and someone else is at 95, one of the beauties of cycling is that doesn't mean that the person at 95% wins. The beauty of our sport is that we can all win at whatever level nearly that we're at. There's opportunities for everybody. So I think that, by the time the whole of Europe or the whole of the world is able to train outside, which looks like in Italy and France and in Spain within the next 2 weeks, you have to think the time frame to the Tour de France, which could be one of the first races, you still have 3 months away. And in 3 months, everyone can be ready for the Tour de France.
Yeah. Hey, Casper, how's the race at this moment?
Yeah, there's a race going on.
Oh yeah, there's a race going on. But I'm actually very interested in Rory because he's talking about his career and stuff. But you're already 38 years old. You could have been my dad actually.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. No. But it's really impressive that you're still a pro cyclist, in my opinion. But what do you really want to achieve in your career? Like you did already a lot of things. You participated in the Giro, Vuelta, Tour de France. What more can you achieve actually at 38 years old?
Well, I'm enjoying myself. You know, the reason I'm still racing is because I've got a great, family situation. I have to say thanks to obviously the guys at SEG, Martin and Elko, because they've been able to get me a job all these years, which obviously helps. So they're obviously doing something right, even though I told them they're not. But it's little things. It's things like this. What I'm doing now. It's watching the next generation, the younger guys who, to be blatantly honest, and I've said this to a lot of people, these guys that are racing now on this online platform that none of us ever really thought we were going to do or wanted to do, these are the guys that are going to get screwed. The guys and the girls doing it. These are the guys that are not having the opportunity to be able to show themselves in the professional peloton, show themselves in the races. This is the way they have to do it. So, this is one of the things that keeps me going is to try and help these guys to get to that next level, and to motivate them. And the same goes for the team. That's my job in the team that I'm in now.
Okay, perfect. Well, thanks a lot for tuning in. I really appreciate it.
I'm watching. I'm not tuning out, but I know you guys got to do your commentary, and I want to see what happens in this.
Yeah. Okay.
One quick question still, Rory. Do you fancy this kind of races? And did you miss it when you were an under-23 racer?
The e-racing, you mean?
Yeah, sure.
No, not at all.
That's why.
I think it's fantastic that technology has come this far that we can actually get in there and do a race like the guys are doing now. I think it's great for them. It's great for their motivation. It keeps that fire going that they can, break up the time between races that they have and get something out of it. That they can exercise and they can race in some sense. But for me, like probably a lot of guys, and the racing we enjoy is out there on the road, where there's more variables involved. But I think it's fantastic for these guys. I'm super excited and super happy that SEG has put this all together, and so many young development teams have got in there to give it a go.
Yeah. And anything to say to these riders, because everybody is listening, I guess, because we don't see any attacks at the moment.
I think they need to go a bit faster, to be honest. I'm seeing some heart rates and some watts per kilo and all that, and 187, 186 heart rate. That's actually pretty high. So I'm 38 years old, so if I see that, I've probably fallen off the bike already. So.
But you would protect in this situation.
Have fun, keep going. Pain's temporary, and embrace it.
Those are really wise words from an old man, ladies and gentlemen. Rory, thank you for joining. Enjoy the rest of the stream, and see you later.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Rory.
So that was Rory Sutherland, ladies and gentlemen. We still have like 1.5 laps to go, I think around 10 kilometers. Yuri, still nothing really happening. Maybe we need to cheer those guys on a little bit more. I can see some expectations here in the comments. I don't know the exact word. Uno X is being cheered on, as well as a few other riders there. The peloton is actually slowly being more in a line, so that means the tempo will be increased. Let's see, Paul W is there at the front. He's trying to push and get away, but yeah, I won't say boring, Yuri, but it could have been a better start.
Nah, but of course it's a criterium parkour, so normally in the normal crits there's also a lot of times just a bunch with a lot of attacks indeed, but most of the times the action packed is very very attractive, because there are a lot of riders who are still in the bunch and who try to attack, and then the other one attacks, and then the other one attacks. So I think this is the situation in normal criteriums, and really wondering how the last 10K will develop, because if it stays like this, if it stays in this bunch, we will have a mass sprint for the line. So wondering to see which sprinters are still in this group.
Yeah, it's hard to see, of course. I get a question a lot. Can you see which rider is riding where? No, we can only see the top 4 at the moment. That's a thing that really needs to be changed, of course. We understand that as well. RGT is working hard on it. Only 2 weeks ago, Seg was like, oh, let's do the race. So I think you need to respect them. Sometimes I'm just pressing a button and then I completely lose contact with the peloton. So here we are back again.
Yeah, some guys are trying to maintain in the bunch, but I think we also see some riders trying to break away. We see Matthijs de Leng again over there, there's still, like you said, some child diseases, as we say in Dutch. I don't know if the English viewers know what I mean by now, but it's all new and everything has to develop. It's not it's not perfect yet, but everybody's working on it, and this is a good start, I think.
Yeah, and there will be more races, ladies and gentlemen. On the 1st of May, we will go on the Paterberg, so that's actually really interesting. A few cobbled hills there, more breakaways, I guess. A really cool race. And then we will have a stage race as well with leaders jerseys. So you need to switch back to SEG channel soon as the races will start. I see a lot of guys from New Zealand at the front, eh?
Yeah, it's they are up there all the time, and maybe they what you said have good weather, and that's an advantage for them. I don't know, but maybe they are more experienced in racing on this platform, or more experienced in virtual racing. But indeed, we see a lot of guys from the Team Skoda Ferruggio team. I saw Bailey O'Donnell a few times. I think this is Jacob Hannon, who was in front, but was passed by a British guy. Actually, I didn't see that much SEG guys at the front. I saw Milan Paulus was up there. I saw Jesper Ras was up there. There is Milan, who probably will hear his name and thought, well, let's accelerate, then I will be there up the sheet. It's we still have to see how this develops. And for now, we see a lot of the same names. That's correct.
Yeah, I get some cheers for Matthijs Lohman as well in the comment section as we are going towards the final lap. I think I didn't miss it out. So I think we can see the bow on the finish. They're really far up at the mountain spot, and then we only have 7.7 kilometers to go in this completely flat first virtual E-Series race here on the SEG cycling channel, powered by RGT, who are working hard to make this program even better and better. And still, it's really cool because in the turns the riders slow down, you can have some rest moments, and then you need to accelerate back again, which makes it far more realistic than platforms like Zwift or other platforms. Without power-ups as well, so you really need to be a good cyclist to win. You can't cheat, actually, especially in this race. Every rider needed to send a video to SEG with their weight. They needed to send a picture from their setup. They needed to use the correct trainer with an extra power meter attached to it as well. So there's actually no way to cheat here, I think.
No, not there's always, of course, a way to cheat, but they did really their best to create a level playing field, and I think that works out quite well. Also because there is not one rider who is blowing everybody away in this course. You still see the same bunch for, I think now from the start of the race, and still the second group is also still together. So I think that it's pretty fair at the moment.
Yeah, as we see some Swiss riders as well in the front. Jesper Rasch is also present there, so he is in that first group. We can see a German rider, which name is Wilhelm Buchmüller, I think, Buchmüller. I'm not German, so I'm not really sure.
That sounds correct.
Okay, Buchmüller, I think, yeah. So then we have Bailey O'Donnell once again. So is he doing too much, or?
Well, it depends. Maybe he's got a fast guy in his team. I don't. He's riding with Bailey O'Donnell. Team Skoda Fruccio is Bailey O'Donnell, Jacob Hannon, and Campbell Peathy. So I don't know if there's a really fast guy from the three of them, but maybe he's working for one of the other riders in his team. We'll have to see. If someone of the Skoda Fruccio team wins, then we can say he did a great job.
Of course, of course. So we are in the last lap, ladies and gentlemen. Less than 7.5 kilometers to go. In around, I think, 10 minutes, we will know who the winner is of this first virtual eRacing Series race here on the SEG Cycling channel. Let's see a lot of comments as well. Nice to see that you are all here on the YouTube channel to watch this first race. Bailey O'Donnell once again at the front, Jacob Hannon also at the front, and then you have Campbell Peathy, the last rider from Team Skoda Fruccio. Is that the man to beat today?
Maybe, I don't know for sure, because I don't know how fast he is regarding the other sprinters in this race, and I don't know actually if, for example, David Dekker is still in this group. So it's really hard to tell at the moment, and we will have to wait and see what how the last few kilometers will develop.
Yes, we see Josh Price there at the front, someone from the Swiss team, which is Reto Müller, and once again our two lads from New Zealand. We are in the final, I think it must be around 6 kilometers of the race. 4 more turns, and then we know who the winner is of this first race. Yeah,
pretty exciting to watch, and we also see some riders like here standing still on the road. I think that's a rider who withdrawn from the race or did lose because you can't crash or have a flat tire in these races. So maybe he lost his internet connection and lost the process of the race. That could be a possibility, but we will have to see how this goes. But it's really surprising that there's not has been one breakaway yet. But on the other hand, everybody's racing pretty hard. So maybe there is no room to attack at this moment.
Yeah, as we see the Irish rider as well there in the front. It was Cian Keough. I hope I pronounced it correctly. I'm doing my best, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we are getting really, really close to the finish. It's of course really hard to see who is where, etc., etc. But we know that there is one bunch who's in the final lap of this race. It's a big bunch, but as Yuri already said, a lot of riders have been dropped as well, maybe due to a lack of a good internet connection or their program crashed. Everything is possible. You can't really crash actually on your home trainer, but your computer can crash. So a few technical issues that you can have, but not really like road cycling related. Here we have the bunch. We can see that there is no one really coming up. This is like the bunch that will fight for victory and no one else.
No, that looks like it's going to be one of these guys who are in here. And if people are just tuning in, you see everybody's riding in the same shirt. Everybody's in a black shirt. That's because RGT, the platform, still hasn't the option of putting on the team jerseys in this virtual world. That makes it for now and for us a little bit difficult, but we have to see who's going to win this first edition of the U23 virtual series.
I can see that it's Cian Keough. Thanks Archie for mentioning that. We're really getting closer there. You can see very far up that there is one more turn, and then I think one more turn after, and then we will go to the last bit of racing for today.
It looks like an attack on the left side there.
Yeah, someone who tries to go to the front. Positioning is also really important here at RGT. If you start too far in the back, it's almost useless to go and sprint full out because you will never reach the top 10 anymore.
No, but there are examples in the real world, of course, of people who were not were in the back. Also, for example, you had Erik Dekker, who is the father actually of David Dekker, who started in the last position in the Tour of Flanders of, I think it was 2001, and nearly outsprinted everybody who was in that group except for one rider. Do you know which one that is, Casper?
Sorry, I didn't hear your question.
No, it doesn't matter. In 2001, a rider won the Tour of Flanders, and Erik Dekker was in the group of, I thought it was 10 riders, and he started in last position and nearly went over everybody. Just one rider. Did you know who won that Tour of Flanders of 2001?
Well, I was. Let's see. I think I wasn't even born yet, so no, I can't remember actually.
No, it's not a problem. I wasn't watching races at that moment too, but I now know it was Gianluca Bortolami, Italian rider, who just had a couple of centimeters left, and Erik Dekker was second. But if he started his sprint a little bit earlier, he had won that Tour of Flanders. But that will not be the case over here, and let's see, maybe David can win today.
Yeah, we just had the final turn here, so I think like 3 more minutes and then the race will be all over and we know who won it. We'll try to get the results as quickly as possible after the race. So maybe it will be a little bit hectic, but make sure that you stay on the channel as long as possible and make sure that you see at least who won, at least the podium. We will try to get that fixed for you as quickly as possible. So Bailey O'Donnell still at the front at the moment for the team Skoda Fruzio. There we have Milan Paulus as well there from the SEG eRacing Academy. I heard SEG really wanted to win this race.
Yeah, it's very important. Of course, they organized this whole event and the events that are on its way for the next couple of weeks. So yeah, of course, if they organize their own race, everybody's in. A lot of big U23 teams are in. Actually, there's one pro team, as you know, has a Pro Continental license this season. So a lot of riders here, and of course, when you organize something like this, you would be very happy to win. And I am very curious if they will succeed.
Yeah, we also see sometimes a Paul from Team Brandenburg, but there are actually 2 Pauls from Team Brandenburg, Paul Rudisch and Paul Tabling. So I don't actually know exactly who that is, but let's find out.
They're both pretty not similar riders, but mostly you can say if one's better than the other, then it will be Paul Rudisch or Paul Tabling. But they both actually ride a lot of races with the national team. So I can't tell you at this moment which of the 2 is the one who is up here, but maybe he can give us a sign or something that that is the right Paul.
Would be cool. We can see the finish from really far up. It's not really long before we can see the final sprint coming up. The riders, of course, do know the exact distance that they have to go, so for them it's not a problem at all. We don't have a lot of information at the moment, but we will try to. But RGT is trying to fix that as soon as possible, as the tempo really gets higher.
Yeah, we see the riders coming to the front more and more, and the pace is very high at the moment, and riders are contributing to go to the final sprint. And I think just a couple of minutes from now.
Yeah, Bailey O'Donnell is putting out 16 watt per kilogram, so they are really starting the final sprint at the moment as I'm losing connection with the peloton. Oh no. Can I go back? I've been warned for this as well. There we go, the final sprint is on. We need to watch it from a little bit further back, but Bailey O'Donnell is set to be the first one here. Let's see if they can reach the finish. It's looking a little bit weird, but I think we have a winner. I'm not sure. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it, but if I look at this, it looked like one of their bikes team one. That's the development squad of the UNOX team. And I'm now looking who that could have been.
I think Reto Müller was the rider from the Swiss Racing Academy team. So he was really in the front, but it's hard to mention. I'm actually doubting about the realness of the positions as well, but let's say for now that it's real. Bailey O'Donnell was starting to sprint from really far out, putting out the wattages above 12 watt per kilogram, and he got overtaken right before the finishing line, and I think it is indeed the Norwegian rider who won it. No, I think it's Reto Müller who won it, Juri.
I'm very curious because I think Dennis Grosvold, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but the rider of the Dare team won, the Norwegian guy. And but if also Reto won, that would also be a very good result for him. As in fact, he's the younger.
We have the top 10, Juri. It's something
one
completely different. We were looking at fake information, I guess. It's David Dekker who won the race.
Well, he just keeps winning, isn't it? On the road, then he also wins in virtual racing. But that's pretty impressive in his national champion jersey on the Dutch King's Day. Well, that's really beautiful.
Yeah, so David Dekker wins today. He also won the Ster van Zwolle and the Dorpenomloop from Rukven in the Netherlands, and he finished third in Le Samin. Those were all his races he was riding, so he's absolutely on fire this season, winning this first stage race in the virtual E-Series as well. Reto Müller finishes in second. The third position is for James Tillett from Team GB. And Dennis, what was his spec name once again? He finishes in fourth.
That was Dennis Grosvold, but I don't know if I pronounce his surname right, but he's a rider of the Dare Bikes development team, the development team of Uno X, the Norwegian team.
So Henry Oelich and Matthijs de Leng exactly finished on the same position, so they are both fifth. Oh no, that's not true. Henry Oelich is fifth and Matthijs de Leng is sixth. Then we've got another rider from Norway in seventh position. I will try to...
I think it's Anders Johannessen.
Isn't it Jacob Hinskal?
Also, no, that's a Danish guy, so I don't think that...
okay.
So I think, but I can't see it pretty clear from here. I see that Ruben Thompson is finished 9th, I guess, or 8th.
Yes, Thijs Verstappen finished 9th and Ruben Thomas finished 8th. So we'll try to get the official results as quickly as possible. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is our first time that we are doing such a live stream, so it's maybe a little bit hard. It was actually really hard to see who was on the front, who was like doing it, who was like doing the big wattages there, and who actually won the race, because I haven't seen David Dekker on my screen like for the whole race.
No, I haven't seen him either, but he was up there, and like a good sprinter, he wasn't up there all the time. We didn't see him, and so he did a great job. And then at the end of the race, he suddenly was there and won this first U23 virtual race from the SEG eRacing Academy.
Yeah, really nice result for him, and I think that David is actually a really cool winner. And we can also conclude that RGT really is a realistic platform, because David could have been the winner in real life as well if we were doing this race on Borrego Spring.
Yeah, it could have been the case, because he's of course a fast sprinter, and he would have done well if this race was actually ridden in the open world. But for people who missed out the top 10, I just got a message that the results will be on the SEG SEG eRacing Academy social media accounts as soon as possible. So if you missed out the top 10, then make sure you visit one of the social posts of the SEG. But yeah, it was really realistic that David won this race. So yeah, not one of the powerhouse of the big time trial engines, but a pure sprinter who has won this race. So yeah, that's really interesting to see.
Yeah, I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you the podium one more time. First is David Dekker from Team SEG eRacing Academy. Reto Müller comes in second for the Swiss Racing Academy. And an individual rider took that last podium spot there. It was James Tillett who ended up in third. He is from Great Britain. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for the stream. Make sure to be there on the 1st of May as we do the Paterberg ride. I think there will be more groups. It will be easier to see which rider is where. RGT is working hard on that as well. So just tune in then once again. And yeah, Yuri, thank you for being here as well.
Thanks a lot. It was quite fun, and actually this hour was gone before I even realized it.
Yeah, it went really quick. So yeah, it was a fun evening, I think. So see you on the 1st of May, I think, eh?
Yeah, of course. If everything's all right, I will be there again. Sure, fun.
Nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for watching, and see you on the 1st of May for the Paterberg Classic here at 8 o'clock on the SEG eRacing channel. Bye bye.